New York City, the Big Apple, the concrete jungle, whatever, you get the point. On the corner of Worth and Broadway is a tiny little office space, transformed into the future of urban farming. In a city home to over 8.6 million people, that's 1 in 38 Americans, the demand for fresh, farm-to-table produce is only increasing. But believe it or not, this farm in Tribeca, Manhattan has some of the freshest in the world, with produce reaching dinner tables only a few hours after harvest. This is Farm 1, an indoor hydroponic farm that grows nearly 200 different crops within this very tiny space, about the size of a 2-car garage. They grow anything from herbs to microgreens to edible flowers.
So here's a basil flower. Cheers. You know, it tastes like how basil smells.
Yeah.
Which is good. You know, like when you smell a really nice shampoo or a really nice soap, and you just wish you could eat it or something.
Yeah, and it's probably not a good idea.
Yeah,
in this case,
it works.
yeah, it's great. I love it.
Hydroponic meaning without soil. Instead, these plants are grown in a pool of water, enriched with essential nutrients.
How come this works so well if we're so used to growing things in soil?
Yeah, so hydroponics is a technology that's been around in some form for about 100 years or so, but it's because it works now because scientists have kind of figured out what makes plants thrive. And so we have the nutrients that they need in there, we oxygenate the water, and we can have this great controlled environment, growing environment here, which is great year round. And so the plants are just really happy and healthy.
Also, look at how all these plants are organized, like shelves stacked on top of each other. This is known as vertical farming, and it allows Farm 1 to operate in a tiny space. But probably the biggest advantage of this indoor farm is the fact that it's an indoor farm. Instead of sun, Farm 1 uses LEDs above each shelf. And because LEDs emit bright light using very little energy, Farm 1 can simulate perfect spring weather, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So where does all this produce end up? At any given time, 30 to 40 restaurants use Farm 1's herbs and crops for their dishes, and over 10,000 pounds are sold each year. And on top of that, there's no shipping. Farm 1 hand delivers their products using the subway, or even just walking. After all, why would you really need to ship anything in such a close-knit place like the Big Apple, or the city that never sleeps, or the Hong Kong of the Hudson, or the... Okay, I'm done now.